So dudes, welcome to the Gregor Gaming Experience, and welcome to Operation Zuckerberg. Jeffrey Bezos has assembled a task force led by local Ayn Rand supporter Callie at the Nighthaven Labs, and plans to ship the new operator Alexa to military forces across the planet. It's gonna put Harry out of business. Yes?
The spaceship is going to Mars.
It's not jailbroken, I swear. Bezos.
Two suns strike out, it is gonna be enough with the hits.
Hello.
Gabe, how's it going? It's Harry. Listen, I wanted to talk to you again about that VR headset project you were doing with Marky Mark. You know the guy. Is there anything new on that?
We received a great deal of positive feedback. After 9 years in development, hopefully it will have been worth the wait.
Could I purchase one? Please.
Yes.
Bloody good.
It costs $400,000.
What? Who's that?
Thanks and have fun.
I intend to, but fortunately, he's teamed up with local robotic plastic man, Marcus Zuckerberg, to develop a brand new version of the Oculus Rift for a new member of Team Rainbow, call sign Solis, from Colombia. Solis can spot any attacking gadgets with the flick of a wrist, like drones and fuse charges that are about to blow. It's been a while since we've had a new map. We remember Emerald Plains so fondly. But at least I do. But in many ways, Emerald was a lot more like Bartlett, except not dog meat. So while I liked the layout of the map, just because it was a new Siege map, Nighthaven is something completely different. This is a new vision of Siege map design and a sort of Siege 3.0? The biggest takeaway from Nighthaven Labs is that it is absolutely massive, bigger than the mother aforementioned in the subject of a Yo Mama joke, which I would never do. Clearly. The map has an underground, a first floor, and a second floor, like many Siege maps. But again, the first thing you'll notice is how far apart everything is. It can take a pretty significant amount of time to go from one end of the map to the other one. And the map geometry is, let's just say it's designed for gameplay first. The architect's probably getting fired for this one. I don't know who Callie contracted for this job, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was your local shipbrick LLC type deal that makes those claptrap townhomes bound to fall apart in the next 5 years and forces the owner to get an actual HVAC unit installed eventually. Now, the operating costs on this building, I'm just gonna assume they're quite high. The mental focus is also high in terms of costs on your brain trying to dissect this map. But I'd say the first thing you need to learn is the location of the staircases. Trust me, they're not in intuitive locations, and if you don't have a good idea of how to get to them, you're gonna find yourself unable to catch up with your teammates on the other end of the map to make a plan come to fruition. This isn't one of those maps where you can go, I'll just get out the window, rappel, go over the top. It's almost like the map is made deliberately complicated to force you to have a plan and work together with your team, which is terrible, I know. Knowing Siege players, this will of course be a cause of great distress. I personally welcome our new gigantic map, and I think the name of the game here by Ubisoft is to create as many combinations as possible in terms of strategies. They want a map that's going to take a considerably long time to be solved, as opposed to Border, which is very linear and blocky, leaving a lot of the gameplay loop to basically consist of who can open armory and plant by the thing the bestest. Now, I'm not saying that this map isn't going to have a solved kind of problem where there's only a limited amount of super effective ways to approach it, but I would assume, based off of the scale, it'll take longer to find those solutions. Now, after hearing all this, what if you still don't want to play the new map? Well, in Ubisoft's own words, "That's too damn bad!" said Ubisoft, you will not be able to ban it if it happens to be an option for you in the map ban phase. This, in my opinion, is a very welcome change, even if the map turns out to be, not great. I haven't formed an opinion on the map in terms of quality, but I'd rather everybody at least not have an excuse to say the map is good or bad. Ubisoft's gonna make you eat your vegetables one way or another, which is pretty based, and come up with your own opinions pill. I have no idea if the map will be coming to a Pro League theater near you anytime soon, but it will be available in ranked, unranked, and quick match playlists. Yeah, there's gonna be, oh my god, there's gonna be so many people. Because if we're talking about it, that like Reddit and Twitter is gonna be like, yo, what the fuck?
This map is gonna have so much growing pains.
The new operator goes by the call sign Solis from Colombia, and I just want to take a minute to appreciate how cool this character design is. I love the helmet, the face mask, you got a little bit of tactical, but when she activates her gadget, her visor lights up and little antennas kind of spring up with these bright orange colors. It reminds me a lot of something you'd find out of a game like Ghost Recon Future Soldier. It's exactly that blend of tactical and near futurism that I think the game should embrace. And if anybody from Ubisoft is watching this video, I want to let you know personally, this design is awesome. Please do more stuff like this. It's seriously really cool, and I think it's going to get more people interested in playing the game, I promise you.
Yo,
nice. Massive.
Oh my gosh, I saw it in real life. Solis is basically like a defensive IQ. She's a 2-speed with the P90 or the ITA-12L. That's the shotgun that Mira and Jack will get as primary options, as well as an SMG-11 as a secondary weapon, so you can actually bring the ITA-12L and not feel bad about it.
whoa, you know where the case is.
He's going up right. He's pushing. He's just teabagging on the spot.
Friendly's victorious.
Nice.
Good shot. Let's go.
Dude,
Awesome.
what a... That was a great clutch. Good job.
Thanks. Her primary gadget is an activatable visor like Warden or Jackal, with the downside being the inability to shoot your primary weapon. Found it. But it can see the locations of enemy electronics in real time up to 15 meters. That's 5 meters more than Pulse.
Mine cut off at 10.
Okay, mine's still going. And it stopped about 15. Now, I know you might think this opens up a lot of possibilities, and you'd be right. But not every gadget ping is necessarily going to be useful. Like, yeah, spotting a claymore is useful, but spotting a fuse charge that's about to blow you up?
Myself in here.
Oh, wait,
if
no, I
someone
can't
comes
activate the
walking
thing
next
too
to me.
early, because then, yeah, wait, sorry, hold on. Okay. Now I can get on it. Okay, it's on the right.
Can you hear the C4 Skittles?
There you go, good job.
Yeah, a little bit. You
activated my
can.
thing too early.
If you listen closely, you can
I
hear
got
it.
shot in the back.
I just saw that. It was just a wall bang.
Okay. Classic.
And
Like, that part isn't great, but for drones, for instance, seeing what the enemy is doing with their drones, that's going to be pretty useful, I think, in competitive play. And that's where we kind of get into weird territory, because it almost seems like this character is slightly undertuned for casual play, and good in specific situations for competitive play. So, yeah, it's a little weird. And the main reason the gadget is undertuned for casual play is because the visor doesn't last forever. It also has a cooldown that will activate in one of two ways. It'll activate at the duration's end of the visor, or when you activate a ping. When you ping with this gadget up, it'll smart ping all attacker electronics that the visor happens to catch. So if you keep the visor up for too long, or if you use the ability, you have to wait for a cooldown. Now, I think Ubisoft is terrified of making this operator into an anti-drone must-bring, because if she were to keep the visor up forever and be able to shoot her gun, if she comes back for a late retake, she'd literally just be able to completely negate all of the drones that the attackers have set up for flanks. So that would be pretty freaking powerful. But I personally love the idea behind this gadget. I think they should experiment with kind of giving it a little bit more leniency in terms of the cooldown and in terms of the animation time. I think they need to just kind of speed it up a little bit. Right now it feels like really slow. And if the gameplay loop just kind of chugs along, like really slow, like activate, scan, get out the gun. Like, if it feels like that in casual, it's gonna feel like an eternity in comp. Another thing that Solis doesn't really have going for her is that she's competing with Pulse, and I hate to break it to you guys, but there's just gonna be some situations where Pulse is gonna be better. Pulse has powerful verticality with the shotgun and C4. That form of lethality is just something that Solis does not have. The first thing I thought about when I saw this gadget in action was drones, and that's what I mentioned at the start of this section. This character has the ability to locate the positions of attacker drones in situations like retakes or for general roaming around. So that's going to be a big thing for Solis, in my opinion. I think that if anything makes her viable, it's going to be that aspect. At the same time, I am kind of worried that the cooldown and timer will make it difficult for new players to, make the right decisions with the timing here. And new players aren't going to have the game sense to know when and where to expect drones. Also, in casual, players don't really use static placed drones like that. So I understand the design philosophy here. I think Solis's gadget can work in some situations. Time will tell how many of those situations will come up. For secondary gadgets, she either has a bulletproof camera or impact grenades. And even without the gadget, she can function as a roamer or an anchor, depending on what you want to do. So gadget aside, I think just from a gunning point of view, she's going to be pretty solid. All right, so, okay. The This one's going to be the controversial part. So Ubisoft is slowing down a ton of operators this patch. I'm just going to give it to you straight. Some of them have gotten some significant speed increases, and a lot more of them have gotten significant speed nerfs. But the new 3-speed operators are Sens. This is a big buff. They kind of needed something. Get ready for some fast executes with the roly-poly. Dekebi should be able to roam clear a lot more quickly now. I like this change. Zero, again, he needed something. Now he's a mobile intel gatherer. And as for 2 speeds, we got Echo and Ella. Now, I'm kind of on the fence about Echo. This is the one situation where I think the 3 armor was kind of useful since he was exclusively a sight anchor, but now he has more positioning options, so that's kind of neat. Ella, this is definitely just a nerf. She's a roamer, and she really benefited from that 3-speed rating. Now, as for the rest of the roster that will have had too much Thanksgiving leftovers, Sledge, this one hurts a lot. This is definitely a pick rate nerf. Thatcher, don't really get the point in this one. His presence is back-ended right now anyway. Zoph, another pick rate nerf, also kind of differentiates her from Ashe. Osa, not bad for her, actually. I think she's a support character through and through, so getting a shot on her arm when fighting with her shield is going to be even more of a pain in the ass for defenders now. Mute, definitely a pick rate nerf. Kind of eliminates his roaming side roll, which is kind of lame, in my opinion. Aruni, kind of a sight-centric character anyway, so I don't think this is a big deal. Melusi, really weird. It makes it difficult for her to get her util down faster, but she's almost just pretty much been turned into an anchor, which, honestly, I can play off of pretty well. I like to play more immediately off of the wub-wubs anyway.
That by the river or
Warping.
I can't tell.
oh, in the breach.
Breach dead.
Yeah. Rafters on ping by the rotate crouch.
He's there.
Cali.
Level.
Yeah.
And that would be it for speed changes, if not for one more thing. The ADS walking speed has been slowed down significantly. So 3 armors have slow ADS walking speeds. That's one of the things that makes them not so potent in the fragging department. Most competitive players see a speed increase as a buff, not a nerf. Well, that's not going to matter anymore because everybody has 3 armored ADS walking speed now, which sounds gross on paper. But Godly Dude pointed out to me, you'll be able to actually get tighter quick peeks out of this, and that kind of changed my tune on it. This is more slowification of Siege. You either love it or you hate it at this point. It's clear Ubisoft wants this game to be very slow and deliberate, and this definitely has a lot to do with the recent run and gun meta that we've kind of entered into the past couple of patches. In terms of quality of life updates, Rank 2.0 will finally come out with this patch. I'll make shorts talking a little bit more about Rank 2.0 later down the line, as well as the new Battle Pass. Rank 2.0 starts everybody at the same beginning low rank, and you build your way up. The 2 big things here are the addition of a new Emerald rank in between Platinum and Diamond, and the removal of ranked MMR restrictions. There's an algorithm that will try to weigh the teams more evenly to avoid slanted matches. And the Battle Pass, you can basically choose what you want to unlock as you go along. It's kind of neat if you care about that. I'm going to cover the Jönköping Major on this channel, so if you want to see some competitive breakdown shorts, the best way to do that is to hit the notification bell or subscribe. I'll be uploading shorts pertaining to this event every single day until its wrap up on the 27th, so don't miss them. Thanks for watching. Deuces.